Good evening and welcome to Shahernama Awaz. Journalist Gauri Lankesh shot at her home in Bengaluru. Lankesh wrote against divisive politics, was critical of right-wing ideology. Across India, protest over her killing calls to protect free speech. Hundreds line up at Bengaluru's Ravindra Kalakshetra Cultural Centre to pay their respects to senior journalist and activist Gauri Lankesh, who was buried this evening with full state honours at a cemetery in Chamarajpet. Gauri Lankesh, 55, was shot dead at point-blank range at her doorstep last evening. There is outrage across the country, and editors and others have condemned the murder and expressed concern over what they described as a growing intolerance to dissent. Karnataka Chief Minister Shahernama, who has called the murder an assassination on democracy, was among politicians, activists, journalists, and other citizens who paid homage to Ms. Lankesh at the Kalakshetra, where her body was kept for a few hours this afternoon. Shahernama, Karnataka Chief Minister, pays last tributes to journalist Gauri Lankesh. The police have reportedly spotted one of three Mr. Lankesh killers on CCTVs that they were installed at her house in the western part of the IT hub. The suspect is seen wearing a helmet, said police sources, adding that 3 teams have been formed to identify and track down the killers who are likely paid assassins. Journalists from across the country as well as prominent residents of Bengaluru were worried that Ms. Lankesh shooting at point-blank range was in retaliation to her anti-establishment voice, her criticism of those in power ignoring those on the margins. Condemning the murder of senior journalist and activist Lankesh, the Congress on Wednesday said, muzzling the voice of ordinary citizens and silencing dissent is a slogan of New India under the Narendra Modi government. The party said India is in the throes of a violent clash between advocates of freedom of speech, and the government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi is determined to silence dissent and throttle democracy. It also said gagging media and often subjecting them through torture is often a sign of dictatorial regimes. The shocking murder of senior journalist and activist Gauri Lankesh is a grim reminder of the times we live in. This mindless and cowardly assassination has not only shaken our conscience but is also an extremely sad moment for our democracy, said Congress spokesperson Abhishek Manu Singhvi. International news. At least 7 people, including 2 children, were killed in an explosion after Bangladesh government forces raided the suspected hideout of a top Islamist extremist, police said on Wednesday. 2 women were also among those killed in the blast at a 5-story building that was raided by the elite Rapid Action Battalion early on Tuesday after a tip-off that a top Islamist extremist was holed up there. 7 bodies were found. They are all burnt, RAB spokesman Mufti Mahmood said, adding that the bodies were too damaged to be identified. He said the hideout at Dhaka's Mirpur area belonged to Abdullah, a daring Islamist extremist of JMB, Jamaatul Mujahideen Bangladesh, the homegrown outfit blamed for a wave of deadly attacks in recent years. Entertainment industry. All set for his comeback film Bhumi, actor Sanjay Dutt is in no mood to rest. While he is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that the right buzz gets created ahead of the film's release, he has already booked his dates for his upcoming projects. And sources say Dutt has consciously kept his schedule bumper to bumper without a breather in between. Post the release of the Umang Kumar directorial, Dutt has decided to start with the first schedule of the film Sahib Biwi or Gangster 3. Currently, he is doing the look test for the film. Once this is done, he will gear up to simultaneously start working on Todbaz Malang, Nishikant Kamat's untitled project, his home production Prasthanam, Mafiosi, and the 3rd installment of Munna Bhai franchisee. The actor spokesperson said, Sanjay is going to be shooting for back-to-back films. His characters would be diverse and distinct in each of these projects. That was news today. Have a nice time.